Hi guys, hope you're all well. It's CoinsKid here. Just going to dive into the REEF chart right now, see what's happening, see if we can see any signs of or indications of which way this trend is going to go for REEF. Obviously, as you know, we was trending up here and we broke out of this channel here. If we mark that for you guys, from there down to there, touch. What you do when you put this trend line in, you always get as many touches as you can. So we'll go from there down. You see a touch there, almost touch there, but you can see down here we was eyeballing a break of this trend here, and hopefully we're going to break out of this falling wedge, what looks to be a falling wedge, and once a breakout with a potential to the upside was the same as the wedge. So we would have, if we'd have continued to break out, we was probably looking at an upside target of 45% for REEF to the upside, just there, because what happens is when it falls out, it tends to just get back up to the top and test the previous all-time high in this falling wedge here, guys. So what's on the cards now? Well, as you can see, we did break out, we got rejected and came back down, and then obviously fell under the wedge, and obviously what happened with Bitcoin dumping, REEF dumped as well. So from that point there, we dumped down all the way down 35% to the bottom there, the local bottom. So we'll mark that local bottom for you guys now on REEF, and you can see that that's the bottom down there for REEF. So we'll price it up. So currently the local bottom, as you can see if you look to the left over here, guys, this was a bit of support there, a bit of resistance there. We broke through it, had to support, and then we was off. So you could basically say, you know, right now we may be forming this sort of pattern here where we're coming up, testing these levels here, and then we're going to go off. So right now, where's REEF going? Obviously we do not want to come back down to this level here and test this as support, because that would be quite bearish for REEF. As you can see, we're trying to break out of this trend now, as we have done here. So it's looking like REEF may range a little bit like this and then retest this trend line, and hopefully we can break out of that and escape to the upside. So this is a area that we do need to keep an eye. This trend line now is a key area of resistance for REEF going forward. We could potentially come down. I don't know whether you've seen in my previous videos, but usually when we have a bottom on a correction, we do usually come down just to test the body of the candle of support, not necessarily the wick, but we do usually come down to test the body. So if I mark that up for you guys now, we could potentially be looking at something like this for REEF, where we do come down, we test this level of support to confirm that it was the bottom, and then we come up and we break out this trend line. So right now you could basically be looking at a further downturn for REEF of another 12% over the coming days. But then from that point there, I'll mark that up for you guys just there. So that level there is 02791. So we may see another dump down to that level, but I would expect that REEF would bounce right there, guys, and push up, break this line of resistance in this downtrend, and then we'll go up and we'll break the previous all-time high. That's basically what I'm seeing for REEF. But if we bring up the fib on REEF, so from the top of the move down to the bottom, and as you can see, we'll put it like there, this trend line. See that, guys? So these are key levels at the moment. See, if you look at that level there, that is right on the fib line, just there. So again, as we come up, we're hitting a bit of resistance, hit a bit of support there on a 236. If we can get through that, then we can come up to these levels here and start breaking through these fib levels. But like I've said to you in previous videos, we may see some form of resistance at these levels, guys. We may see some form of resistance as we break out of this trend line on REEF. So these are key areas to keep an eye on, and you may see a lot of fighting going on for these levels. So basically what I'm trying to say is I think that we may bottom more on REEF. We'll hit this support, we'll come up, we'll break this 0236 fib level. You see that to the right, guys, just there, yeah? So we'll break that and we'll go up. We'll have a little bit of resistance there, and then we'll break that, a little bit of resistance there on that fib, break that, a little bit of resistance there, and as you can see, we'll just go up and then break the new all-time high. So that's basically what I'm seeing, and this could coincide with the mini alt run that I'm suspecting will happen over the next couple of weeks while Bitcoin cools down. So you could see this breaking out very soon. And then after that, where is the target for REEF once we break out of this downtrend? Test this bottom as support and break these levels, fibs, on the way up. Where potentially could REEF take us to? Well, at the moment we know that the all-time high is there of that particular wedge. So what we could do is, at the point of breaking out, say we are down here, you would take that measurement from there to there, and you would apply it to the top of the wedge that we break out. So it gives us a potential price target up there, guys. We mark that for you guys, of 0.77. So if you was to take this trade right now, or you wait for the touch of the bottom of support, you could effectively long from this touch of support, set yourself a small stop loss down to the wick bottom and go all the way up there to our target. You're looking at a 177% trade, guys. So I don't know whether any of you use this, use leverage trading or anything like that, but that could potentially play out over the next couple of weeks to a month on REEF. Not financial advice, guys, and it's not set in stone. It's just patterns that I particularly see in the charts on REEF and our next breakout targets and potential breakout points. Like I said to you, we could come down, test this bottom right down here, guys, as support at 0.27910. Bounce off that, because if you was to look in previous breakdowns of any chart history and previous corrections, as I've stated in other videos, you do usually see something that is called a dead cat bounce. So here's your breakdown, guys, right? And we wick down, that's the very, very bottom, it's the local bottom, but this is your true bottom just there. Okay, so this is where the lot of price action, so you could say that is the actual bottom. So what happens is we break down, okay, when we have a correction, and then we come back up, okay, which is called a dead cat bounce. And then what we usually do, we just come back down just to test that it was the bottom as support in a perfectly healthy correction, a retest. Not always do we come back down to the very bottom, but we do get close, and then we test it as support, and then we break through these levels here in a continuation trend in this entire bull market. So then if you was to zoom out, say on the daily, so if we look on the daily time frame, guys, and we drop these fib levels in, you can see there's not really that much data for the fib levels. The 10 and the 55 is what I like to keep an eye on. You can see that right here we did wick down and bounce off this 55, so that is really positive for REEF. It means that we're not actually broken out of the uptrend and we're still in a bull trend. If we was to break the 55, then we would potentially be entering a bear market on REEF. Okay, so the fact that we did bounce off this 55 EMA on the daily time frame is very positive. You can see the wick there. So the EMAs are exponential moving averages, guys, and they're really important. They can give us guides on where the price is going. What isn't too great at the moment, if you look on the daily time frame, we are being suppressed by the 10 EMA, and usually in an uptrend, as you can see here, we do remain above the EMA, and that keeps us confidently in an uptrend. So what we need to see now is a break out of this trend line, because what you will see is this EMA curling round like this as we continue in this sort of downtrend, being suppressed by the EMA. Like I said to you, we'll come down potentially over the next couple of days, touch the bottom as confirmation of the bottom at that 27910. We don't want to fall below, because that will keep us really far below, and we may actually enter below the 55 EMA as that curls around there, guys. Okay, so again, if we was to drop down there, we would potentially bounce, but I'm expecting a bounce off this bottom here, which is the local bottom of the body of the candles on the 4-hour time frame. So effectively what we could see here is a test down to this bottom, a bounce, break this resistance, and then go up to our target levels as we've spoken about at 0.7752 on the daily time frame. How long it will take for that to play out, I'm not entirely sure. We won't know until the market sort of sorts itself out a bit and finds its feet, and we know which way it's taken us. But at the moment, we're bullish. on the daily, given that we're above the 55 EMA. On the 4 hourly, we're just getting above the 10, as you can see. The 55 is suppressing us a little bit, which is quite bearish, but we are just getting back above this 10. As you can see here, we're above it. Once we get below it, it's hard to get above it and with any momentum, and it kind of suppresses you a bit, and the price action tends to drift downwards. But as you can see, we are trying to get above it here. So again, I am expecting this to play out, guys, where we come down. We're going to test this 0279, the previous bottom of this crash, this correction here. Come back up, break through this resistance, and then make our way up to our new all-time highs. So that's REEF, guys. I hope you understand that analysis there on REEF. It is a great project. It is making strides. It is an evolving project in the DeFi space. So I hope you enjoyed that video on REEF, guys, and I hope you smash the like button, hit the subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you on the other side, guys.